The Egyptian warrior Tauseret was beautiful, but her beauty did not belong to innocence. It was a cruel gift, forged in ambition and the promise of power. Thus, between sorcery and conquest, the seductive Tauseret became the very embodiment of the empire. Magnificent, dangerous, and irresistibly lethal. The beautiful Tauseret, illegitimate daughter of a forgotten general, learned early on that beauty could be as deadly a weapon as a blade. At 16, Tauseret already commanded her own guard, formed by warriors who swore loyalty not to the pharaoh, but to the beautiful woman whose eyes promised both glory and destruction. Her beauty was a weapon as sharp as the sword she wielded. Her eyes, dark and serene, concealed the poison of one who had mastered both pleasure and fear. Her rise to the throne of Kemaru did not come by inheritance, but by conquest. Tauseret marched against the capital when the old king lay dying, his heirs fighting like hyenas over a carcass. The generals who once defied her became willing servants, bewitched by her voice, which sounded like a chant amid the desert flames. At her banquets, the aromas of wine and myrrh mingled with the whisper of intrigues. There, a single glance from her was worth more than an army, and a touch could seal a man's fate forever. They said that even the gods averted their eyes when Tauseret walked through the temple halls, fearing to recognize in her something divine. Her beauty, as radiant as it was merciless, reached the dominion of Anubis, lord of the dead, who saw in that beautiful mortal woman the reflection of an eternity even he did not possess. Fascinated by her audacity and enchanted by her seductive gaze that defied the beyond, the god descended from the veil of shadows to meet her. Amid the scent of incense and the murmur of prayers, he offered her a pact, the power to move between worlds, to walk among the living and the dead, without ever belonging completely to either. From that moment on, the desert began to whisper her name, and the jackals, creatures of Anubis himself, bowed before her voice. Her temple became a sanctuary of beauty and fear, where the heavy air of myrrh and blood wrapped the faithful in ecstasy and reverence. They said that whoever entered her domain felt their heart race, torn between desire and dread. Amid veils of smoke and uncertain promises, the seductive queen ruled not only over bodies but over souls. The gift of Anubis did not make her a servant. It made her the sovereign of two worlds, mistress of destiny and desire, beautiful as the dawn and dangerous as the night that never ends. With time, the power Tauseret had received from Anubis began to weigh upon her soul like a cloak of gold and ashes. Each victory drew her further from mortality, and every gaze of adoration carried the bitter taste of solitude. The gods, once curious, became watchful. They knew she had crossed the limits of what was permitted, and fear grew among those who had once worshipped her. Tauseret, however, did not retreat. In her eyes burned the thirst and pride of one who had tasted infinity. In the marble halls, the lovers of the seductive queen were welcomed with caresses and promises, but left only as shadows, memories lost to the sands of the desert. Amid betrayals and conspiracies, she learned that the throne she had conquered was not made of stone, but of human fragility. Even so she ruled, sustained by her beauty and by the terror she inspired. When the gods finally turned their eyes against her, the beautiful Tauseret did not bow. It is said that before the altar of Anubis, she raised the dagger that had so often been an instrument of both seduction and death, and she swore that if fate demanded her submission, she would tear it apart with her own hands. Amid palace betrayals and doomed loves, the beautiful Tauseret weaves her eternity, vowing to defy even Anubis himself if necessary. For her, to reign is only the beginning of immortality, won not through faith, but through poison, desire, and the blade.